Okay, I just want to do a little demonstration on how I use this desk with this groove box, because the problem is, right, you'll have loads and loads of inputs here, but the Circuit Tracks only has 2 inputs for MIDI channel 1 and 2, and that's not enough a lot of the time. So the way I used to do this was I would just run the 2 outputs from tracks into 2 channels on here, which was basically like maxed out and panned left and right, and I just wouldn't touch those. That's a problem, number one, because that takes up like 2 channels that you might want to use for anything else, but also that means that things like the master filter on here and like the sidechain you can't use. It's essentially useless. There's got to be a better way, and there is a pretty good way. There's a pretty good way to do this. So there are 2 outputs on the desk, and there are 2 inputs on the tracks, right? You probably see where I'm going with this. So it's groundbreaking, I know, but you run the left into input 1, and the right into input 2. Then we go, well, these are both maxed out on volume as well. We go down into panning, and you'll see that is panned hard left, that is panned hard right. And you're pretty much good to go. Like, it's not any more difficult than that, really. People have probably done this already. This is not anything new, but this means you get all the benefits of, you know, physical faders, EQ, sends, all that stuff. You can use this this horrible built-in delay that doesn't sync to anything and just sounds like crap. You can use that. That does mean as well you can't really use the effects on tracks. I use these on the drum channels. I don't use them on anything else because everything else comes from 303 or the Proteus 2K. Yeah, but you know, that's fine. We can use horrible delay or basic reverb. One thing is the sidechain. So I mentioned that I do like to use that on these inputs. It applies to everything on the desk, obviously, which, you know, is not ideal in some situations, I guess. Like, oh no, my mixers sound cleaner. It's something you got to consider, right? Like, I've got this mic input here, which I never use anyway. That probably does not want to be going through this sidechain. Another thing, there's a bug or something in Circuit Tracks where you basically, when you're setting the sidechain, you need to like hammer these things to make sure they're really set, because it seems to remember like a previous setting or something if you just tap it once. And I only noticed that when I started panning things left and right from the desk, and it just suddenly sounded like whooshy between speakers. Yeah, so just keep an eye, remember that. Okay. So how does that sound? Let's press play and take a listen. Let's press play and take a listen. To be honest, I just wanted to play some music. It sounds kind of as you'd expect, but you know. Okay, that's everything. Bye.